And you're listening to the Real Anime Podcast. And I'm your host, Christine. Yeah, I'm taking over your job. Whose job? Lewis and Mohnish.
I mean, yes, guys, you heard that right. We have officially been replaced by a more beautiful. I don't even know if that's a word. Another good-looking, beautiful, absolutely gorgeous and stunning presenter here, Christine, who, by the way, is my girlfriend. So please give her a round of applause for her giving a fantastic intro for today's podcast. And we have Mohnish over here. Mohnish, how are you?
Could be better, a little bit under the weather, but glad that Christine has taken our jobs. If anyone's hiring, just let us know.
Yep, please let us know.
Yep.
If you see us by the side of the road there, like Mohnish and I with the cups over there, needing money, that's us needing a job because Christine is too fantastic in this role already. I think you guys watching this gonna be like, where have these two buffoons gone to? So with that being said, Christine, why don't you tell us about the film that we're gonna be doing today and just tell a bit about the story?
So it starts off with him waking up in space and not knowing what to do because he was definitely just put in space out of the random. And then the journey just begins of his backstory and he makes a friend along the way, by the way. So yeah, it's a very interesting film because it's definitely something you don't think like, oh, he will have a friendship out of the film, but he does. And basically, he saves the world as well. So that's the whole sort of like synopsis of the film. Nothing too, like, I don't want to spoil too much, but yeah, that's how
mean-
the film goes for now.
Your explanation will be great, but then everyone needs to know the film name. But then again, in her defense, she's
Oh,
telling you the-
yes. And the film that we are doing today.
I was waiting. I was like, she's like suspense
Don't
thrillering
do that.
our podcast. It's like,
Okay,
what
okay.
is she talking about?
non-linear. This one non-linear.
that we are talking today is Project Hail Mary.
Thank you. Yep. So thank you guys for listening to the podcast. That's Christine presenting. Nah, just no, guys. Please give her a round of applause. And if you want to see more guests, especially Christine here, not because she's my girlfriend, you just want to see more guests, please let us know and come on to the Real Anime Podcast because this is the first time, if you correct me if I'm wrong, Mohnish, in over 2 years that we had a guest in the podcast. Right? It's been a while.
Been a minute. Yeah.
Yeah, but with that being said, that was a fantastic intro, Christine. Of course, or maybe. Now, first things first, let's kick it off. Something fun. We've all seen Project Hail Mary. Who here has not seen it yet? Okay, everyone here has seen it. Hey, you never know. You never know with this world. Nothing is impossible. Just like how Lily, my dog, lifted 100 kilos the other day at the gym. So there you go. Yep, that's you never know with this world. But nevertheless, guys, to everyone here, if you want to describe Project Hail Mary in one word, what would it be? And let's begin with ladies first.
Friendship.
Mohnish?
Amaze.
Brotherhood, right? So these are like some of the words.
How do we know Rocky is a guy?
That is true.
And if he is a guy, this is probably one of the gayest films I've ever seen.
Hey.
Right?
But my question still stands. How do we know he's a guy? You got
Let's
see
actually
down there.
He's
Somebody
a rock,
go down there.
technically.
Exactly.
He's a rock,
Now,
technically.
that brings us to the follow-up question. Luis, do you believe rock got gender?
Of course.
Somebody.
Dwayne Johnson.
Hey, that's true.
So Rocky is a bald man now.
Yeah. But yeah, these are like some of the 3 words that all of us will probably come up with when we think of like one word for this film. Because this film has like maybe touched us in many ways. I mean, I remember on the April 18th, 2026 at 5:30 p.m., even though we were 10 minutes late, we was watching Project Help. Hey, you forgot your wallet that day.
You turned that day.
The body she's just here like, who asked you? You asked me you turn because I have to go back to your house. But nevertheless, that's a story for another day. But yeah. So, but honestly speaking, when we watch it at the cinema, Project Hail Mary is just like something really nice that you must watch it at the cinema because it just has like that sort of feeling when you go to the cinema. It just feels nice for you to watch, right? So yeah, that's what I think about the film. Then it brings me to my first question for all you guys, right? So whoever wants to answer first, I think Mohnish here is dying over here, so let's give him a bit of rest. If you want to take some, if you need to go take some medicine, please go ahead. And if you guys are watching this, please write down in the comments. Mohnish, hope you feel better, but I think that it'll be in 2 weeks' time, so he'll probably be better. But he'll still read your comments, by the way. And yeah. So the first question I want to ask all of you guys: what makes Project Hail Mary stand out from modern sci-fi film? So obviously the previous episode which we did, or one of the previous episodes that we did, was Disclosure Day. So for Mohnish and I, we will probably be using Disclosure Day as an example. But for Christine's sake, she'll probably be using another sci-fi film as an example. So then at least we have like a sort of like a comparative analysis going for this. All right. So let's begin with you, Christine. What do you think? What makes you think that Project Hail Mary stands out from like the other modern sci-fi films that you've watched?
I guess it's the unexpectancy, because from most sci-fi film, I would say it doesn't really cater around like just one or two main characters most of the time. But this one really plays on Ryan Gosling in space, and it features him really being alone, because he was pretty much alone most of the film until he encountered Rocky. So I would say in terms of that was one of the things that kind of like you would be like, hey, this is kind of emotional, because I would say you don't expect it from a sci-fi film most of the time, but it became quite emotional towards at least midway of the film. And I feel like that's what really stood out, because it doesn't only highlight like, someone in space being lonely, but it also does relate to the audience in a way. Yeah.
Yep.
So I would say that kind of stood out in
Okay.
this modern film.
I mean, we've recently, both of us actually watched Mandalorian and Grogu, right? Do you think that this film also is kind of like similar in a way? Like, how would you compare it to like Mandalorian and Grogu? Do you think one is better than the other? What do you think?
I would say Project Hail Mary stands better in terms of like the themes and again, it's more like Grogu and the Mandalorian already has a reputation because due to the series. So it kind of already showed like, the relationship between the Mandalorian and Grogu and how they form. And in the film, it just enhances it, and it kind of plays more on like the fan base wanting, Grogu and the Mandalorian to be like, they really want to like show the relationship due to the fan base, of course. But with Project Hail Mary, I would say it is very unexpected, really, in terms of like the friendship being there, especially with an alien and with a human, because we never know what's in space. So with this, it kind of like shows you can always form relationships with anything, even with a rock.
Yeah.
I would say.
See, you can form a relationship with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. If he's watching this, that's the day I would highlight forever. Because if you see my girlfriend's forehead, actually my one bigger. I just kidding.
Hey, hey.
But no, sorry guys, there's gonna be a lot of inside jokes. Because I've known Mohnish for 12 years and I know Christine for a total of 4 years, but dating, that's for you guys to find out lah. Okay? Alright, so Mohnish, hope you're feeling okay. Would you like to drink some water first?
I'm good. Yeah,
Okay,
I was drinking water just now.
Okay,
but yeah.
good. Okay, make sure it's not vodka. But yeah, I want to ask, so like,
I mean, Project Hail Mary in modern sci-fi feels like it's that kind of film that it stands out, I feel, only because it is optimistic, It's a sci-fi film that talks about friendship, and it's rare, I suppose. Like Disclosure Day, for example, is one of the other films that was quite empathetic, but it's less of a space film. Disclosure Day, it's more of a thriller, alien, first contact type film. Whereas Project Hail Mary is also first contact, but in space. And, you're visiting other planets, you're seeing different galaxies, different spaceships, different cultures, different ways of life, worlds, ideologies. And so it's a lot more political, I suppose, Project Hail Mary. But I also think that modern sci-fi tends to be intrinsically quite cynical because it's always about the doom and gloom, the future is bleak, and all these kinds of things. But with Project Hail Mary, it's just a simple story about friendship. Just so happens to be in space. Just so happens to be a man and a rock. And I mean, to touch on the Star Wars point, I suppose Mandalorian and Grogu. I mean, I'm quite familiar with the series. The only reason I feel reluctant to call it a space film from time to time is because Mandalorian and Grogu is part of the Star Wars lexicon, and the Star Wars lexicon has already embedded itself into popular culture so well that it doesn't quite register as a space film in general, because it's just as a Star Wars film. It's not a space film, you know? And playing by those rules, I feel like, yeah, Project Hail Mary is unique, and I hope there is more optimistic sci-fi on the way, because I feel like kids could watch Project Hail Mary and feel quite attached to sci-fi, and it would be a great lesson for science, for them to learn and feel more passionate about the subject. So that's a great thing that Project Hail Mary is doing for sci-fi right now. It's unique in that aspect, and that aspect alone. So yeah.
Project Hail Mary also reminds me of a film that came out 12 years ago, believe it or not, Interstellar. Now that's a throwback right there. Christopher Nolan for himself was one who directed that back in 2014, right? You know, Interstellar also, when watching it, I remember like it kind of like reminds me, it has some similarities to Project Hail Mary, for example. You have Ryan Gosling over here, who's alone in a ship, no one else, and he's alone. But then obviously Rocky came in, became friends. Interstellar, I forgot the fella's name. It's been a while since I watched that. But also like you can see that there's like the theme of isolation is kind of like relevant in both films, right? One of the similarities that you can take away from these two
Yeah,
films.
but in Interstellar, Cooper goes off with a crew, and they're all alive. And instead, in Project Hail Mary, Ryland Grace's crew are all dead the moment you see them in the film. So it's all the crew typically lives in flashbacks.
Yeah.
But and Interstellar is a lot more of a. I suppose there is an element there, because Interstellar does talk about love as its binding agent, but Interstellar is built as a science fiction film in the loosest of terms, because they had a physicist on the film, Kip Thorne, who was like there to make sure everything was as sciencely factually correct as possible, you know. And the only thing that they did not do that was science, that was basically non-fiction, was the love bit, where that was there for dramatic effect. But the rest of it, that's even how a black hole looks like, you know. So like they fed it through with real algorithms, and they generated the proper the proper image that you would see if you saw a black hole. So I mean, to compare them is a little bit funny, because I think it's like Project Hail Mary is closer to playing to our emotions, whereas Interstellar is more towards showing you a situation that could very well happen in real life. You know, so like I would argue if Project Hail Mary was told in animated form, there would be very little to take away from that. Now, of course, you have Ryan Gosling, who I think makes all the difference, lah, because you know he's a very different protagonist from Matthew McConaughey. Matthew McConaughey is fighting for his kids, and to see them again after he was lied to and went on to his mission in Interstellar. But Ryland Grace is sort of forced unwillingly to go there, and his entire crew dies, and he's the only one there. And so it could very well have been a very depressing movie, but you know the circumstances brought us a very heartwarming duo with Rocky and Ryland. So you know that to me is why we shouldn't probably compare the Interstellar with it. But I should also mention, for the podcast sake, that in terms of space movies, I probably have seen more space movies than both of the Lewis and Christine combined.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. So don't be too harsh on them, I feel. But Luis, what other questions did you have, Luis, after this? Like, what's your follow-up topic?
Yeah. I mean, my knowledge with space films is not as good compared to like other genres. Just disclaimer out there. Is a topic that is a genre that I want to look more into, and then Manutao, we can talk about it with you guys. But the next thing I want to ask you also, beneath obviously Project Hail Mary, yes, genre technically classed as a sci-fi, right? Technically,
it is a sci-fi. It is a sci-fi.
All right, but beyond like the sci-fi sort of premise of it, what are like some of the themes that we can take away from it also? Because, you know, you have a lot of these things that you can take away from it. Everyone will have like their own experiences watching it. Some might be happy, some might be, I mean, if you're happy watching it, I don't know if you're human or not, but you never know with the world. You never know with the world. But if you're just watching it based on like a pure cinema experience on it, what are some of the themes that you can take away from it?
I would say it plays on like people going through adulthood, because with Rylan, he didn't really know what he wanted to do initially, because he was like forced into this project and he kind of like just helped through with it in the initial stages. But when they wanted to launch it out into space, he was actually forced into it rather than like him wanting to go into space as well. Yeah, so but he had nothing to lose, but he was just scared. And that's like so human of him, because everyone as a human would not willingly want to give up their life, right? So that's such a human reaction. So I would say those are like the themes that really kind of attaches and relates to the audience when you watch it, because you're like, oh wow, that's actually how I would react if someone were to like force me into space, you know. So in that sense, he was the protagonist itself. He himself didn't know what he wanted to do, and he just wanted to like he still was like, I'm adulting, I'm figuring out life, but at the same time, I'm in this project, and yet I don't want to go into space and like risk my life, like losing my life in it. Yeah, but then he learns a lot once he goes into space, and builds up a lot of his own like experiences from it as well. So yeah, technically like you leaving your parents' nest and kind of like adventuring out there. So that's literally what I can brain when it comes to like watching the film lah. Yeah, kind of
Yeah.
like leaving the nest.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, Project Hail Mary is a perfect example of how like you want like you have Ryan Gosling over here literally just getting out well, not to say getting out of his comfort zone, but more or less being forced to do something that could be life threatening in a way where he doesn't even know if man is even gonna make it out alive or not, Especially like the moment that got to me was, I think, the first 10 minutes I remember, or 15 minutes or 20 minutes, I can't remember exactly, where you see Ryan Gosling's character, Dr. Grace, over there, literally like seeing all the dead bodies in the ship, basically like giving them like a mini, I kid you not, like a mini memorial service. You remember that scene, right, guys? Yeah, that's the bit. It was just like shows
like everyone was deceased as
Oh.
soon as the opening started.
Oh yeah. That's everyone was deceased. Just like how my space knowledge theory is deceased at the moment. But nevertheless, Mohnish, what do you think?
What do I think? I mean, there's a lot of different like premises. A lot of different themes under the premise of a sci-fi film. Like Dune is about choosing the right leader, not the most popular leader. Interstellar is about remembering that love is an important part of being human. Project Hail Mary, for example, there's so many things like we said earlier, like brotherhood, friendship, connection. For me, I think what I would choose is connection, of course, and cross-cultural understanding, which is, I think, something that we need a lot of in today's world. There's a lot of disagreements, let's put it that way, to be nice, in today's world, about what some cultures want and some cultures don't want, and it tends to be, we seem to have a communication problem. And I think Project Hail Mary shows us that you can even communicate with a rock if you know how to do it properly. And that the way their relationship and their bond as friends grows throughout the film is really heartwarming. And I feel like there's a scene in the film where Rocky gets hurt, and I was literally just so distraught watching it. I was like, no! And I know Rocky will be fine. I've seen the film twice already, so I know he's going to be fine. But in that moment, I'm just like, no, Rocky! And I'm just like, please. And I was like, oh, right, he's going to be fine. I just fast forward to the point. I'm not. But like, that to me shows that the way they built it up together is so authentic lah. The relationship, and I feel that's also a great reason why I feel James Ortiz, who is the actor who actually handles the puppetry of Rocky in the film, should be nominated for a Best Supporting Actor. There's a lot of talk of him being nominated for a Best Supporting Actor. I don't know if he should win, but as of now, I feel he should at least be nominated, which would be a huge step forward in the industry because you got great puppet characters like Grogu, you got Rocky, and I feel like this will open the door to more practical effects being used, right? So that's a little sidebar from the themes question, but yeah, as far as themes are concerned, I feel there's just so many to choose from. My personal choice is understanding and connection. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I want James Ortiz to win as a best supporting actor.
I mean, I don't know if he'll win, but I do hope he gets nominated.
some.
And the nomination will be enough, I think, to get more people to
Yeah,
invest in
whether he wins or not
this
is
kind
a
of thing.
different story. But let's be honest, if he's nominated, that is already considered a win. Because let's be honest, sometimes people might take the easy way out, which by using AI, for example, which I'm just like, okay. Yeah, which you see it now. When I said the word AI, Mohnish is really sick of it, right? But that's the topic for another day. But a word that I like to bring up for a theme for this film itself is curiosity. Curiosity. Now, you guys have a good word,
That's
good
fair.
moment to think about it. But reason why I say curiosity is because like when watching the film for the first time, I was very confused because obviously it's told in a non-linear way. But once you watch it the second time, you're able to paint the dots together, right? Yeah. So I kind of like understood like why I said curiosity, because like you have like Dr. Grace over here, Ryan Gosling over here in space, curious about what he needs to do. Obviously, yes, he has like years of experience with like doing all these like physics, science stuff. I mean, fun fact, I got kicked out of physics when I was younger, so there you go. Yep. So when I watched it, I was just like, I don't know, but never mind. Or if you want good physics, you watch Oppenheimer, right? Or maths or whatnot. But yeah, the reason why I say curiosity, because it shows that like a guy like Dr. Grace, who has like many years of experience, he's like curious to know like what's in like the space, what's in this universe, what thing has not been discovered yet, and before you know it, he's already discovered Rocky. And then once he start to know about Rocky, most of the time, right, people will just run away to be like, oh, yo, that's a robot. Time to run away. But no, this guy is curious to know more about him. Even tries to speak his own language. Then after that,
Well, I mean, the language part was the best one for me.
Yep,
Yeah.
it was the best. I love it. Like I still remember, like if you see my screen, right, he was teaching him how to do a thumbs up, but then he can only do this. So it's just like so curious to know like how this film kind of explores like what human communications can like bring you to. Sometimes it doesn't have to be a human that you can communicate with. Like how I communicate with Lily and Elvie. Every time Lily takes a poo-poo on the porch, I scold her, my mom scolds her until nobody's misses. My sister makes her shake, That's a story for another time. But that's a story for another time. But that's curiosity for me. This film kind of really explores like a theme of curiosity very well. Next question. After watching this film, it's quite a deep question, I must say, guys. So take a moment or two to think about it. How has your outlook on life looked after watching this film?
I mean, for me, I just want Sandra Hüller to sing in more films. I'm very straightforward, lah. Like, I could listen to her sing for hours. And as far as the outlook is concerned, like, I kind of answered it already in the previous one where I was talking more about connection and understanding. So I feel that's the outlook I've set out with. But I'm curious to hear about you guys. So, what did you guys take from this?
Christine, why don't you go first?
My outlook
Yeah.
after watching the film.
Yeah, what was it? Yeah, remember.
I would say resilience. Like, I feel like when we were talking about how Ryan was really forced into space, right? Of course, like he could have just gave up there and then, but then again, that would have been like movie ended, right? Because you gave up as soon as you got to space because you saw all your crewmates died and like you are in outer space alone and all of that. But I think like him being someone that's so inexperienced, like in terms of like being out of his comfort zone, he really like went through a lot of challenges and he came out of his comfort zone through that as well. And he was resilient the entire time. And after meeting Rocky, he became quite determined to be like, okay, let's do this, let's find a solution. How do we save the world? What do we do now? And then it kind of like got me thinking, like, hey, sometimes you might not have that mindset initially, but then with a change of heart, with a change of like determination, someone giving you like inspiration, you can always change and your mindset changes. So I would say like that was the outlook that I had when I watched the film. Because I was quite impressed, I was thinking like, whoa, this guy was a wimp initially, but then now he's like, I saved the world. So like, yeah, change of mindset, honestly. That's how I was like thinking on the outlook part.
My one very simple. He went through the the 7 stages of grief. That's why I really
And that too, honestly.
I just realized that he also came back from memory loss.
Yeah, I remember he did, yeah.
Yeah, he was put into a 4-year coma.
I remember.
And he woke up on the ship, and the drug that they used to put him into a 4-year coma contributed to his memory loss, which is why he had to relearn everything he already knows on the spaceship, which is why we had the first 10 minutes of him going around the spaceship going like, what?
Yeah, like what's going on?
I totally forgot about that until recently. I was like, oh, he actually, I had memory loss that he had memory loss. Like, it was great. Like, yeah, that actually says a lot about his character.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to talk about the next question, but for me personally, I would say that after watching this film, it kind of taught me how to appreciate the small things in life. Right? Sometimes we as humans, let's be honest, no matter if we're the best person in the world, the worst person in the world, the most holiest person in the world, or the richest, or anything in the world, sometimes we sometimes forget the good things we have in life. Now I'll tell you the good things I have in life. I'm doing a podcast with my best friend, my girlfriend over here, so I really win in life already lah. So you two don't cry, huh, Ane?
I've been crying for the last few minutes, but yeah, you're
No.
Okay. This will be an interesting podcast, guys, but go on. I will need to take my charger, by the way.
Oh, okay. I'll see. There you go. So before I answer that question, Christine can give us a house tour.
But go ahead. Continue.
Okay. So whilst Christine gets a charger, baby, I did not take your charger, by the way. I gave it to you that day. Okay, so why I said like appreciate the small things in life is because like with like Ryan Gosling in a situation where he's on a spaceship, not knowing when he's gonna come back for like he has to be there for like 4 years, right? If I'm not mistaken, like X amount of years. He kind of just has to make do with the situation.
There was no return date.
No return date, right?
Yeah.
I don't think. So
yeah, he had to find those the cause of those aliens and the solutions, everything to the disease.
So
they said that he might not be able to come back to Earth because they didn't have enough of the
data or whatnot, yeah. But so it kind of taught me saying that like we should all be we people as humans is normal. We should always be grateful for the situation that we are living in sometimes, right? Because we have this guy over here not knowing when is he kind of like going back also, he doesn't even know if he's going to make it out alive or not. Yeah, sometimes we tend to forget, even I myself also tend to forget that like I already have a roof over my head. I really got like food every day, like I can eat food, I got work, and all these things we tend to be grateful of. But then sometimes we as humans, sometimes we get to be a bit more greedy, and what this film really taught me is just learning how to be really, really grateful as how Mohnish is crying over here lah.
Don't
So
cry,
much
Mohnish.
emotion.
Yeah,
Don't
so all I can say is just like learning how to really appreciate even the smallest things you have in life, you know, right? Just learning how to really appreciate life for what it is, because life can sometimes people might live up to 100, sometimes people might live up to 50 or 60 or whatever. It's just really appreciating the really small moments, and once you really know how to appreciate the small moments, when the big moments happen, oh, it's like the best feeling ever, you know. That's one of the things that I kind of learned from this film. But next, Ryan Gosling. What do you guys think about his performance? I personally think that I can give you a sentence: show not tell, curious and wacky. His performance in this film, right? Meaning to say, I love this performance. Whether it's going to be up there in terms of what, that remains to be seen, because obviously you have other good films which kind of just like, you know, like some other main actors who just like kind of like maybe did better than him, but he did a good job, don't get me wrong. I mean, you have Obsessions, for example. You know, the main character, I can't pronounce her name for dear life. If you put a gun against my head, I don't know how to say her name. Indy Navarrete, right?
Indy Navarrete.
Yeah, almost there. Indy Navarrete.
Yeah.
That performance was the best. But I mean, we did a podcast about that, so you guys go check.
It's not as bad as what's that name? Saoirse something. Saoirse, the Irish one.
Oh, Saoirse Ronan.
Yeah, her name's hard to pronounce.
Yeah, but you know, his performance in this film itself was just perfect. His role was perfect. His personality was perfect. The way, you know, how sometimes he's just so wacky. Like, he makes a mistake and then he just, alamak. He thinks that he's going to die, but actually, in reality, it's actually a small mistake. The moment when he met Rocky, he just starts to like freak out, starts to teach him sign language. He was just perfect for this film. I can't think of another actor. Just imagine Morgan Freeman in this role. Brother would just start questioning all the buttons there with his nice voice in there. Then if you have Samuel L. Jackson, he'll probably be screaming at the top of his lungs, saying like this and that, this and that. It's like, man, get me the hell out of here, man. I don't want to stay here. But that's what I think. What do you guys think?
With every film that I've seen Ryan Gosling in so far, he never fails to impress, I would say. He did a good performance in this as a protagonist. I mean, definitely any role that he takes on, he does put his heart into it, and you can see that. And also, again, he was very relatable in the film. So with the film being like kind of unexpected to me, I would say it's just like he was very relatable to every human. So yeah, that's how I see it. Like, how I see his performance as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to add on to your point, Ryan Gosling is the type of guy, he will give you at least a solid 7 out of 10 or 8 out of 10. It was just like Arsenal every time they bottled the league before this year. They always give you the solid 2 second place for the 3 years running, but then congrats to them for actually winning the league. Finally. Yeah. So we can't make fun of Arsenal anymore. But we can still make fun of Tottenham, I guess, even though they won a trophy, but they almost got relegated. But nevertheless.
I mean, if you think about it, it's never like you don't need a very special actor for it. You just need someone to like you can relate to.
That's true.
And he has good expressions, you know, like he has very wacky expressions. So
yeah, I put Mohnish in there. He'll do a good job. But Mohnish, what do you think of Ryan Gosling's performance?
Well, I think he is a very special actor. I mean, his stock as an actor has never been higher. You know, like he's come off so many successes, you know, and in a row as well. You know, Project Hail Mary is just one more step because you have La La Land before that. You have what other films did he do?
Barbie.
Oh my God, Barbie is another big one, and then of course the Fall Guy with Emily Blunt. And it's crazy because I was introduced to him in the film Drive, which came out in 2011, and it's so crazy to see him making friends with The Rock now after he smashes a guy's head in with his legs. You know, like he literally holds the bars of the lift and just slams the guy's head until his head opens up like a watermelon. And I was like, wow, that is a. I think because he had kids, lah. So, but you know, it's like Ryan Gosling's performance really makes the film. You know, it is almost everything. It's almost everything because Rocky wouldn't be as charming if it wasn't for Ryan Gosling, who was also his scene partner. Now, of course, James Ortiz as Rocky does a lot of work, but Ryan Gosling is the one who's got to react. He's the one who's got to communicate with a inanimate object to make it feel alive, to make the scene feel alive. And it's not easy because at least if you have another actor talking to you, at least there's something there. But in this case, he's talking to a soft toy, lah, basically. Right? Like he's talking to an inanimate object, and you need the scene to feel alive. You need to see the scene to feel real. So I feel like there's a lot of things on Ryan Gosling's plate, and he's also a producer on this film, so he's not just acting. So yeah, I think he did a great job.
Yep.
You know, so
I agree.
now, yeah. So I mean, now Lewis, we're on to the Letterboxd reviews, right?
Yeah.
The last question we basically did already.
Yeah, we basically did the last question itself. So now we're gonna reach the favorite segment where, you know what, Mohnish, we should actually just create an intro just for Letterboxd. You know, just like that.
I mean, yeah. If you
why not?
have
Why
one
not?
in mind, why not?
Why not? It just reminds me of like that guy who does the career ladder on Instagram, that Max C Follum, that Max guy from Ukraine. You know that guy.
Max Klemenko. Yes.
Max Klemenko. He did like, hope you don't have to hold your bladder because it's time for the career ladder. So we should do the Letterboxd review. Be like the Letterboxd review lah. Let's do that. So we've actually got like a good lineup of Letterboxd reviews. So we've actually, I've watched this film twice already. So I watched it on the 9th of July, which is actually today, by the way. And I also watched this film back when it came out a few months back, which was on April 18th. So we're going to be reading my review, Mohnish's review, and another random fella's review. Then, for since it's a special episode today, since you have a VVIP person, a very, very important person in this podcast. So, Christine over here, she just only created her Letterboxd account. So, guys, please give a smash.
So, if anyone from Letterboxd is watching, as you can see, we've expanded your customer base by an extra one person. So, sponsor us. Okay, thank you.
Okay, so all right, so how is this gonna work? So I sent you on WhatsApp already, Mohnish. So I'm gonna be basically, you're gonna be basically reading from this random person. Her name is Zoe Rose Bryant, who watched this film on 21st of March 2026. Okay, you're gonna be reading that. And then I'll be reading your review, and then I can read my own review lah, if you want.
I mean, okay. I'll read your review.
Yeah, you sure?
Okay
lah. If you I don't want to put too much strain on your voice.
Zoe Rose Bryant. Steady, yeah. Zoe Rose Bryant. She gave this a 4.5 star, and she has watched this on the 21st of March 2026, and she says. Oh, and for anyone, this is not the review yet, but for anyone who's watching, we're going to pop up the Letterboxd review here, so don't worry, you guys can read along with me.
Right here. Wherever it's going to be.
So, a movie about alien organisms eating the energy of the sun, and somehow the most unrealistic part is still every country on Earth working together to save the world. You see, this is what I was talking about with the cross-cultural communication thing, because even Zoe over here thinks the most unrealistic part of a science fiction film set in space with a rock, and a planet of rocks actually, is the fact that every country on Earth is working together to save our planet. So that tells you everything about how cynical we are about our own interplanetary communications. And I think as a race of humans, we can do better at communicating with one another and not starting fights for no reason. But yeah, that's again what Project Hail Mary brings, right?
And I just made a last minute substitution actually. So before you read out my review, Mohnish, I actually put out a last minute substitution over here. So putting out last minute substitutions like how Real Madrid did to Man City 4 years ago.
So Lewis is the resident pull-out merchant on a. I mean, a resident power pull-out. You know.
Oh no, I'll give you a simple name. They call me Divock Origi.
The pull-out merchant. Divock Origi. Okay. Sorry. Uncle a bit unwell today, but you know,
It's
I
okay.
will read.
Never mind,
I'll read
Christine,
Lewis's review right now.
Yeah. So I will actually read the other person's review after we read both of our reviews.
Okay, I will read Lewis's review.
Go ahead.
Lewis Knight. This is his first review.
So I decided to go with my first one because I felt like it had more emotion.
Okay, given it 5 stars. Watched this on the 18th of April 2026. And he says, never in my life would I be interested in science, but this film was perfect from start to finish. The unlikely duo of Dr. Grace as Ryan... what?
Ryan.
Right.
Dr. Grace as Ryan Gosling, is it?
Oh, alamak.
So, as you all have, who all of you who have been following our podcast, as Lewis loves to say, that's from England, but English is...
I learned local English.
Time for you to go back to England and learn some English. Oh my god! I thought it was just me because I was under the weather, but no. It's just Lewis. He's non-linear English. That's what it is. Non-linear
exactly.
English.
That's the name.
The words are literally non-linear. It's supposed to be terbalik.
No, actually, I translated from Malay to English. So I direct translate.
Even Malay is linear, like, you know what the hell? Anyway, continuing on, just to translate for those of you who don't understand the non-linear English, Lewis means Ryan Gosling as Dr. Grace. Now, and Rocky just told...
Oh, there's another typo, man.
For me. Okay, okay.
I need to go change it now before that is when.
Don't worry, it's been out for months. People have seen it. Don't worry.
Yes.
It just felt like that heartwarming and just an unlikely thing you'd not expect. Okay, I myself, got double, might not be a fan of science, let alone having studied it. But this film made science more enjoyable and just made something complicated, in brackets for me especially, into something brilliant. Last but not least, the unexpectedness, which power unexpected. You get the non-linear element of the film made you question whether this is an actual event or if it's a twist in the story. I think what we can learn from Lewis's review, right, is he needs to learn a bit more about non-linear storytelling. He gets way too confused in non-linear storytelling.
This is all like 3 months ago, so I'm just like,
Well, I mean, 3 months ago ain't that long.
Feels like a long time ago.
I swear to God, I this has really woken me up. I have to really like focus to like.
See,
my
at least
God.
my reviews wake people up, so I'll take that.
So I've never read English that sounded like Spanish.
That's actually
jump out of him because he was like, am I saying things right?
I know. I'm like literally looking at it. I'm like, do I have ADHD? Is it going up and down? You know, I'm looking at it going like, what? Anyway, continuing to the last sentence, of course. This already is a top contender of my best film. You mean for your best film?
Yeah, okay. I failed English 5 times.
But don't worry, your dad's English is be alright.
Might be English.
Your best English for this.
He failed English too.
But he's English. He's alright. You got no excuse. Like you see. So, Christine, Lewis's favorite thing on the podcast is how he mentions his dad is English, but then the running joke is his English is dog shit. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna, I find it quite interesting. It's the perfect wake-up call for someone like me today. Anyway, this is already a top contender of my best film for this year. For now. Yeah. Okay. Well, if any of you require translation, just let me know. I'll double up my job as a
I'll learn a
translator
for you guys. Nigerian English.
Oh my God. I think just basic English for now. PJ English, I don't think even I can handle. You can, You find some other translator. Uncle retired already.
I see. Well, at least
Anyway.
he's awake now, thanks to my review.
Oh my god, I swear to god, I didn't think I'd have to focus this late at night, but holy shit. I literally was zooming in, I was like, am I crazy or is he saying that?
Yeah.
For real. Anyway, continue. Lewis will now be reading my review.
Okay.
Oh,
I think I failed English 5-6 times. Well,
but it's okay. He can read. It's fine. He can definitely read.
just about read, but
Come,
right.
Lewis.
Okay.
Let's go.
Wait, what's my? Okay, so this is what Mohnish reviewed from today, actually, 9th of July 2026, 4.5 stars. Hopeful science fiction is a rare sight. It's 5 p.m. and I'm about to clock out, and all I can think about is maybe I don't want Ryland to find his way home. The bond Rocky and Ryland made and how they do this makeshift cultural exchange and become the best of friends in doing so, it really feels like subverting the expectation of having an alien like Rocky learn about Earth, but having Ryland learn to live on another world. And while it does seem somewhat artificial since he has to live in this bubble, it seems like it reminds us of how the fact that the Earth is just a pale blue dot in the universe. This film feels very much like the new bastion of the optimistic sci-fi genre that feels like a spiritual successor to Steven Spielberg or Robert Zemeckis. Zemeckis, just reminds us of how the science fiction genre isn't fantasy, but it's a reflection of how the lives we could live if we step out of our comfort zone. Perfect.
See, I told you he reads very beautifully.
But I
there was a little bit of mishap, but it's fine. We ain't saying anything.
I read like an old man, but then I write like a young child.
I'll tell you what, Christine. If it's between his reading or writing, I'll tell you right now.
The reading that's better. The reading's better.
100%. I'm horrible at writing.
Oh my good god. It's okay, but you read like Shakespeare, but you write like someone on LSD.
You know what? I should put that as my letterbox caption, actually.
Oh my god. No, Letterboxd is fine, lah. But I mean, the fact is, when we are reading it out, is the best thing in the world. I swear. It's like.
Well, there you go.
It's like.
I bring happiness to my writing.
I don't know about happiness. I'll be honest with you. I don't know about happiness. Uncle didn't think he was going to have to focus. Happiness is not exactly the word I would use, but it's
give me this as a
like our good friend Sarge said, and this is advice he got from Lewis. At least I'm unique. Yeah, but moving on from
that's a topic for another day.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but I mean, Lewis inspires everybody the way he goes, giving advice about being different. And we have a certain acquaintance that happens to take this advice to heart. Yes.
Okay, so I put out a last minute substitution here, and actually is a friend that Christy knows very well.
Oh.
Her name is M. Yeah, so
What is her review?
So she watched this actually last week, actually. Wow, okay.
Oh, wait. Where is... wait.
I don't know. I'll send it to you on WhatsApp. Okay, then you can read it.
Actually, Annie, maybe let Christine read it.
Oh yeah, come.
Yeah, send it to me on WhatsApp then, because I don't know her.
Come.
Don't know her profile. I don't think so. Okay. It's opening right now. Okay, so her review on Project Hail Mary. Watch 29 June 2026. Watch this with a beautiful girl while she does her PHM Lego set. # recommended. Love so bad. Beautiful movie. OMG. The visuals are stunning and the score is so peak. I love you, Rocky. And she gave a 4.5 stars for this film. Okay.
Oh, she has the Project Hail Mary Lego set. Dang. Okay. It looks beautiful, the Project Hail Mary Lego set. But yeah, but what do we think of the review?
I think it's
It sounds like M, to be honest. I'll tell you what.
That sounds very M.
Christine is best friend with M, so she knows M better than the both of us combined.
Yeah.
So I think that sounds like that's very good right there. So yeah, I mean, to finish it off, Christine is actually gonna give her live Letterboxd review, and she's the same as me. She's very good at speaking, but writing is just the same as me.
Well, I think I will
That's
give
the reason
Christine
why we're
a little
couple.
bit. I mean, I'll give Christine a little bit more credit. I know Lewis's writing better than most of us. His writing, I tell you what, is lain daripada lain.
What can I say?
But Christine, please, after you.
My review on the film, I would say it's a very well-to-do film. I mean, of course, there are personal preferences and how people see the film, right? For sure. But I do like the film personally. And when I watched it, I actually did cry a lot. And Lewis can attest to it.
I was there.
It's because it was just like, it sort of related to me in ways that I didn't know that it could have, in terms of like being lonely, being like, how do I figure things out? How do I figure life out as well? And also just kind of, the story of having a friendship and having a support system as well. Because of course, when you watch the film, you would feel like, wow, this guy's really lonely and he's all alone in space, right? But when you start to realize that just having one friend that really truly like helps you out, it related to me in a way, especially when you go out of your comfort zone and into a new culture as well, and being very unfamiliar with it, you feel like, how do I navigate through it? Yeah. So the film really is all about navigation. From my perspective, how I see it is just navigating and being, and also like having that one person that really really supports you. Yeah. But for overall, I would say it's a very good film because of its unexpected humor to it, since the film really is kind of surrounding just this one protagonist, but it just really is unexpectedly humorous and also very emotional lah, for sure. Yeah, so that's like my review on the film. But I love the film because I love Rocky. So yeah, Rocky, you rock. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
See, Christine.
Am I going?
No. I know you're actually. It's actually a Mac feature. She's using Mac right now.
Oh.
So,
I swear to God, when I saw that, right, I was like, first Lewis is writing, now I'm seeing something else. I'm like, nah.
Yeah.
I'm glad that at least both of us made you awake now.
Oh, you don't worry, Luis. You are number one in that category.
At least I'm number one in something. I'll take that.
But I will say a very good review from Christine. I actually think it's the best review we've read so far. Mine included. I think your review should be totally written down 100%, because if that's what you're saying, that's really, really good.
You know what?
And also, I learned something new from her review as well.
Which is?
Talking about navigating and how it's not just a metaphor in the film, but it's a metaphor for life, right? Like how you were talking about it. I think it's really well thought out, because like for me, my whole thing was the cross-cultural exchange, but yours actually, and of course the comfort zone, but yours was about navigating, which is such a great point. A lot of sci-fi is about navigating, but you actually saw like the metaphor between just actually finding your way in space and finding your way in life. So her review actually, I don't know about you, but her review is far and away better. I was like, dang,
I mean,
even I have. Wow.
I can attest to it. I was there in real life to actually witness the review.
What do you mean you were there? I'm literally witnessing it now.
I was there after she watched the film. That I actually legit like saw her like kind of like give the same similar
okay.
review.
So yeah.
So
I mean, can you imagine if she wrote that down? Oof.
I'll give it. I'll once the video comes out, then or like I'll send it to her. Then she can write it down. Letterboxd, boom. She'll be more famous than the both of us.
Oh, for sure. Like I thought it was very good. Like no, like I because you were saying like how it might be the same as like I was like nah. I was listening to. I'm like I'm learning something new as well. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh wow, this is very
Of
good.
course. But yeah, guys.
On the bright side, I will say that we all enjoyed Project Hail Mary for sure, and hopefully the industry makes more films like this. I'm truly surprised that we have not tried to make a Malaysian version yet.
Oh, we have a Malaysian sci-fi version actually.
Oh no!
You want to know the
What
film?
is it? Go. What is it?
Chichat Man.
Batu. Oh no! My God! I was like, what?
Chichat Man is a sci-fi film in Malaysia, but there's some food for
Is it
thought.
a sci-fi film or is it?
Okay, I kid you not. When I searched for sci-fi films in Malaysia, there are only 9 films based on date. Sci-fi films in Malaysia, because sci-fi films in Malaysia is very expensive and the ringgit is not as strong to like make a
They
sci-fi.
just don't know how to make a sci-fi film.
And that too. So technically, Chichat Man is classed as a sci-fi film, but that's a topic for another day, guys. But with that being said, guys, I think this is officially the longest episode we've ever done in a while. I think the last time was the Kogonada special. But yeah, I mean, before we all go, guys, if you guys have any recommendations for any space films, like I said, my knowledge is kind of not the greatest. I admit. Okay, I'm a man enough to admit that my knowledge is not good. Please send me some recommendations down there. Not underneath my PC, but down below in the comment section below. All right. Please send me like some good recommendations. I really want to get to know the science, not the science. Sci-fi. You could say the sci-fi genre and also the space genre itself better. And plus, I want to be able to do more podcasts like this. It's a genre that I really want to look more into and get like, let's just say, better knowledge about it. All right. So if you guys have any good film recommendations, please let me know. Chichat Man is obviously a fantastic film for people who have no knowledge in cinema, I guess.
Sci-fi, huh? Sci-fi.
Yeah, sci-fi, I guess. Right? But nevertheless, guys.
Rolling out a screen.
Oh yeah.
Chichat Man.
For our American and UK audience, Chichat Man is actually a top tier Malaysian film. Don't worry about it. Just pay the 50 ringgit asking price. You should watch it in IMAX, 4DX, ScreenX, everything.
4D, 5D mana tahu?
Yeah.
Only in Malaysia.
Terbang already. I'm like, no. 5D terbang.
Only in Malaysia.
Don't Google what chicha is. It's actually a very cultural Malaysian word. Don't.
It's actually a food.
Google
You can
what
makan
it
the
is.
fella.
I mean,
Exactly.
random.
Chichat goreng, chichat burger.
Yeah, action film. You know this one.
Oh yes, the action is action. There is action power. Telling you,
it's better than Air Force.
Oh well, I don't know. That one was Malaysian classic. We had the same idea as Top Gun, same time also. But yeah, I mean, Chichat Man is basically you just imagine Humpty Dumpty dressed up in a latex suit running around stealing things from roadmen.
Well, at least he's protected. But yeah, guys, with that being said, thank you for joining us on our officially the longest podcast we've ever done properly to this date. Let me know any good sci-fi or space films for me to watch. Then Mohnish and I, we will personally review it. And if you guys love Christine's performance over here, it's her first time here actually on the Real Anime Podcast. Please send her some positive comments. We want more guests to be coming in, and I think her camera just closed.
Pop up her. We should pop up her. Oh my god. We should pop up her Letterboxd so that.
Okay, guys. So, with permission, do we have permission for you to put your Letterboxd account so people can follow you?
Yeah, of course. I mean, I only have literally 1 rating at this point, but I will put more.
Yeah, you put Chichat Man down. And then can we put down some of your social media links? Chrissy tries it. We have
Chrissy tries it.
So you guys go follow her Chrissy tries it account. I mean, please follow it. It's basically
you should put up a tag here. The
tag is right here. So I think one of us maybe we put it on both sides. Okay, but guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. For the next episode that we're going to be doing, Mohnish, do we know? Or you guys will find out?
We do, but they'll find out. Yes, they'll find
you guys
out.
will find out. We'll do Chichat Man next.
Hey, there's another one, guys, called Badang.
No.
Badang.
We don't want to extend the podcast for another 1 hour.
Okay lah, Magic Ropak lah. Let's go.
But yeah, guys. But Mohnish, Christine, do you guys have anything else to say before we end the podcast?
I'm very steady, and this podcast has been very amazing.
Amazing. Just like my writing. Thank you.
Oh, because of it.
See, you saw, man. I failed England 5 times, but I never fail in life.
He just said,
Go watch Project Hail Mary, y'all, and find out by yourself and see what you guys think about it if you've not watched it
It's okay
yet.
to fail in life.
if you also need English classes, Lewis will be available on weekends to help you with your comprehension and grammar.
Only speaking, not writing. I'm horrible at writing, I'll admit.
Oh, no. He only does writing. He cannot do the
don't-
speaking. He only does writing. Unfortunately, he's one of them English teachers who cannot speak but can write. So, but if you want, he will be talking to you in Tamil lah. If you're, so just let you all know, this is a multilingual country, multicultural country. See, as you can see right there, he has the Tamil down already. You should also be very, very happy that he's been doing this podcast in English. So he actually has a twin brother named Louis who's been doing the podcast in his place. So that's why. But Louis is actually a very good English teacher. He speaks only in Tamil, but can teach you English like top tier.
Then I'll tell you the instructions in Mandarin. There you go. With that being said, guys, thank you for listening and watching. Mohnish is here, needs to get some rest, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. And if you guys want more of Christine, let us know, and she'll make a return. Granted that we have a buyback clause contract. Fabrizio Romano will say, "Here we go," and yeah, take care, guys, and see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Okay.